When you hear the sentence England's worst-run football club, your mind might go to clubs like Manchester United, for example, with the Glazers putting the club into debt, which currently stands at around £500 million, taking out £166 million in dividends over the last 10 years, being the only Premier League owners to take out dividends in that time. And on top of this, letting Old Trafford rot and be left behind by stadiums such as the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Emirates Stadium, even West Ham Stadium, and dare I say it, the Etihad. All this while paying £80 million for average players like Antony and giving ridiculous wages to inconsistent players like Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw, only to not challenge for the title for 12 years. However, although Manchester United, with the fan base, history and money they have behind them, massively underachieve as a football club due to how the club is run, but aren't the worst-run club in England. Far from it, in fact. At least they have a ground to play at. Football grounds are the heart and soul of every football club. They bring people together and bring a real sense of community. So that begs the question, can a football club be a football club without a ground? That is the question currently being asked about Farsley Celtic. A small club with a rich history, loyal fans, and all the potential to thrive in English non-league football. But in recent years, the name has become more associated with chaos, confusion, and questionable leadership than footballing success. So, what's actually going wrong at Farsley Celtic? Let's take a closer look. The club was founded in 1908 with the name Farsley Football Club and played in the amateur leagues in Leeds. They then joined the Yorkshire League at semi-pro level and moved to new stadium Throstle Nest in 1949. They were then a very average non-league side for around 50 years, until the 2005-06 season, where they were promoted to the Conference North for the first time. They then made it back-to-back promotions in 2006-07, winning the playoffs against Hinckley United, reaching the Conference National for the first time in the club's history. Things were looking bright for Farsley. This was until they went straight back down to the Conference North in their first season at Step 1 of non-league. They then spent 3 seasons in the Conference North before going into administration in March 2010, due to poor management of the club, and shortly after, the club disbanded. They reformed for the start of the 2010-11 season with the new name Farsley AFC, where they restarted at the bottom of the English non-league pyramid. They went on to have a successful 2010s with promotion after promotion and were renamed to Farsley Celtic in 2015. They gained promotion back to the National League North in 2019, after winning the Premier Division. Following this promotion, they were taken over by a man named Paul Barthorpe, who changed their home colours, changed their badge, and renamed their stadium to the Citadel. They looked like establishing themselves as a decent National League North side after finishing 10th and 11th in their first 2 seasons back at this level, but then narrowly avoided relegation in the next 3 seasons, taking us to the end of last season and the reason I am making this video. One of the biggest criticisms levelled at the club in recent years is about its leadership. Questions have been raised about transparency, communication, and decision-making from the top. Key appointments have been made without explanation. Financial decisions seem inconsistent, and supporters are often left in the dark about the club's direction. Rumours of unpaid bills, questionable sponsorships, and a lack of community engagement have damaged the relationship between fans and the board. While some clubs at this level thrive off strong community bonds, Farsley's leadership appears distant and at times disinterested. And instead of rebuilding, the club often seems to paper over the cracks with short-term fixes. You can't build a strong team without stability, and right now, stability is the last word you'd use to describe Farsley Celtic. On the 11th of March 2024, the owner announced the playing surface would be changed from a grass pitch to a 3G pitch and promised the fans it would have no major financial impact on the club. However, there have been constant delays to the start of this project due to a lack of money and a problem relating to the historical use of the pitch, with the ground underneath the pitch providing difficulties to lay a new pitch down. In September 2024, the manager and his assistant left the club out of the blue with no statement. In October 2024, the owner blamed a third-party contractor for the further delay of the pitch renovation. The club recently appointed former well-known goalkeeper David Stockdale as manager to try and save the club from relegation, bringing his much-needed footballing experience to help the club on the pitch after nearly 500 professional appearances for 17 different clubs over 20 years. He was brought in following a brief spell as manager of Blyth Spartans. He only lasted 48 days in the job in a spell spanning from September to November 2024 in Step 3 of non-league, where he won his first game 3-0 away at Stockton Town, but went on to lose his next 3 games in charge before being sacked. This begs the question as to why he was brought in to help Farsley in their crisis when he has next to no managerial credentials. My only conclusion is that the club has absolutely no idea what they're doing. This season, Farsley have played 30 away matches in a row, including what are supposed to be their home games, but at other clubs' grounds such as Guiseley, Alfreton, Hallam and the main one, Buxton, which is a 2-hour drive from Farsley itself, and unsurprisingly barely any of Farsley's fans are bothering to travel to these games. On top of all this, at certain points this season players have not been paid wages. Fans have also been left unsure as to where each home game will be played until the day before the game, leaving them little time to make travel arrangements. A club statement was released on the 16th of February stating, "We've played the last 10 months without any home games due to delays installing a new pitch. As a result, we have had very little revenue, which has led to severe financial challenges. This is important because the matchday revenue these small clubs like Farsley Celtic make from things such as match tickets, food, drink and merchandise is absolutely essential for them to survive. With their home games being played at other teams' grounds, these teams take all the money made on match days and Farsley miss out. And with Farsley not playing any home games this season, they've missed out on a whole season's worth of matchday revenue and most likely not made much revenue all season, only from things like sponsorships. Aside from the financial factors, not having a home stadium loses the community feel of a club. A football ground is where a group of people can get together every couple of weeks, feel a part of and get behind something. Without a home ground, it must be difficult for Farsley's supporters to feel connected with the club. Fans also probably can't afford to travel 2 hours away for a home game. Fans have voiced their frustration online and at games. Some have called for board resignations. Others have simply walked away, tired of broken promises and a lack of accountability. The matchday atmosphere isn't what it used to be, and that's a tragedy for a club that once prided itself on community spirit. Farsley's players, many of whom will be part-time players so will work full-time, won't have signed up to play 46 away games, but are forced into it because of the state the owners have put the club in. So what's the solution? Can Farsley turn it around? Well, it's not impossible, but it starts with leadership, genuine, transparent and committed to the long-term future of the club. In the short term, the goal will just be to survive as a football club. In the medium to long term, the plan will definitely be to get the new 3G pitch laid so they can move back home and start generating that matchday revenue again. A brighter future can be achieved through investment in youth, a clear footballing philosophy, improved fan communication and stronger ties with the local community. These are the building blocks of a better future. Other non-league clubs have done it. Why not Farsley? It won't happen overnight. But with the right people and a genuine desire to fix what's broken, there is still hope for this club. But with the club recently being relegated, who knows what their future on the pitch holds? Farsley Celtic deserves better. The fans deserve better. This club is more than just a name, it's a part of a community. Let's hope those in charge start acting like it. If you're a Farsley fan or just someone who cares about grassroots football, let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think needs to change? And don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of football.